If you used to love drawing, but now when you look at your own art, it feels a bit disappointing or just not good enough, this video is for you because I've been there too. I am someone that has always drawn ever since I was little. For me, it was my happy place. But I remember a few years ago when there was a time where I would just sit down full of ideas and what came out on the paper was just didn't match what I had in my head. And honestly, it made me want to quit altogether. Maybe you have felt this too lately. This invisible wall between what you want to make and what you actually are creating. Today we are going to talk about why this happened, how we can move gently through it so you can find the joy in making art again. And if you're interested, I link all my art supplies in the description. Let's dive into it. First, I want you to know that hating your own art doesn't mean that you lack talent. It actually means something very surprising. It means that you have good taste. There is this beautiful concept named by a storyteller called Glass, and the concept is called the gap. So here is the thing, you got into drawing because you have a really good taste. You love beautiful illustrations, you follow incredible artists, and you know what good art looks like. Your taste is up here and it's excellent. But when you are starting out or you're coming back after a break of making art, you know that it's not quite right and it doesn't have that spark that you see in the work of other artists. For the longest time, I thought that this gap meant that I wasn't cut out for this. I thought that if I'm a real artist, then this should all just be very easy for me. But the truth is that frustration is actually proof of your potential. The only reason that you can recognize in your drawing that it looks a bit off or wonky is because your taste is strong enough to spot the difference. If you are looking at your sketchbook and you're even kind of cringing, I want you to reframe that moment right now. And instead of thinking that I am bad at this, just try thinking my taste is currently ahead of my hands. That is completely normal and that is just fine. It is actually a really good sign and it means that you got a vision. Now we just need to help your hands catch up to that. If you want to make this really click, then try this with me. Pause the video for a second and think of one artist which work you absolutely love. And ask yourself, what do I actually like about it? Is it the mood of the art, the type of lines, maybe the softness or the colors? That right there, that is your taste. You already have it, your hands just haven't got up to it yet. But this is where it gets a bit tricky and where I see so many of us get stuck. We live in a world where we constantly see everyone's highlight reel. When you scroll through Instagram, you only see the polished and finished masterpiece. You don't see those 10 sketches that failed, that went into the bin before they finally had a successful drawing. And you don't see the years of awkward drawing that artists made to get there. That can create a perfectionism trap. We start to believe that every time we put a pencil onto the paper, just needs to be a masterpiece. I used to be so scared to just ruin a new sketchbook that I wouldn't even want to write anything on it. Maybe you felt this pull back to draw, then you sit down and the pressure just freezes you. You worry, what will other people think about my drawing? Is this a waste of time? When our standards are impossibly high and our current skills feel just very low, our brain will protect us from failure by making us avoid the task all along. That's why you might find yourself doom scrolling instead of actually creating. I definitely have days where I feel this very heavy expectation. The moment you drop off that weight on yourself, drawing just will become very playful again. I feel like we have to accept that making bad art isn't a possibility, but actually a requirement. You have to make bad drawings to get the bad drawings out of your system, because they are the stepping stones to the good ones. So if you are feeling that pressure right now, here is something that helps a lot. Take a blank page and ruin it on purpose. Draw a ugly line, make a stain, use your least favorite color. Once the page is already messed up, something magical will happen. Because there is nothing left to protect, you're free to play. Because bad drawings aren't the enemy, it's actually a doorway. So if I've helped you out so far, make sure you like this video and also subscribe to get back into drawing. So how do we close the gap? How do we get our skill to match our taste? Glass says that the only way to close this gap is to do a huge volume of work. It's not about spending 10 hours on one drawing, trying to make it perfect. It's about doing 10 times a 1-hour drawing. Or let's just say it even better, 50 times a 5-minute sketch. I think a good exercise, and one that really works for me, shifting your focus from quality to actually quantity. Let's think about it when you're, for example, learning a language. You wouldn't expect to write a novel the first time that you're, for example, learning Spanish. You would actually expect to make mistakes, babble a bit, and sound a bit silly. So we can actually compare drawing to a language. And right now, you just need to be a little silly. So give yourself the permission to make ugly art. Like seriously, make the ugliest art you can. And when I stopped trying to make art and actually just used marks, everything changed for me. I realized that some sketchbooks don't need to be this museum. It can just be a laboratory, a place to just make a mess. Every page that you fill, even the ones that you don't like, open your hand to learn what your brain already knows. So you are closing the gap that we talked about, one scribble at a time. And definitely do not forget how fun making art is. Because do you remember when you were a kid? You didn't worry about the anatomy or a perspective. You just drew because it felt fun and good to move a crayon. So it's important that we find that feeling again. So here's a simple exercise that we can even do today. So we can set a timer for 5 minutes, and all you are allowed to do is just to make marks. So lines, scribbles, circles, and do like 50 of them. They don't need to represent anything. So they're not flowers, they're not faces, it's just movement. And when I stopped trying to make art and just start making these random marks, everything changed. If you're feeling stuck in this gap right now, here is my advice. First, lower the stakes. Don't use your most expensive paper. Don't use that fancy sketchbook that you're scared to use. Grab a cheap notepad or even a sticky note. The key here is that if the paper feels precious, then you will just tense up a bit. While if it's just a sticky note, you can just rush it up and toss it away afterwards. Secondly, try a medium that you can't erase. Like for example, use a pen or marker, because when we can't erase our art, we will live by our mistakes and just keep moving forward. It will teach us to just be confident with our lines, even if they are wonky. And finally, set a timer for just 5 minutes and tell yourself, for those 5 minutes I am just going to play around. Because once you start drawing, you won't want to stop. But a low commitment just will make it easier. So please know that you are not alone in this struggle. Every artist that you admire has been through the gap. They have all made those thousands of drawings that they did not like to get the ones that they will actually love. The fact that you are frustrated just shows how much you care and how good your taste actually is. So let me know in the comments below, what is one thing that you're going to draw today, even if it turns out very messy. I definitely would love to hear your thoughts, and I'm honestly so excited for you to discover the joy in making art again. So happy sketching and welcome back.